Welcome back to Take a Sip with Rob and Tonia. I'm Rob.
I'm Tonia.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers. Clink, clink, clink.
Clink. So we're doing some coconut vodka tonight.
I always do coconut vodka.
I'm doing it with you
It's just
tonight.
a change for you. It's not a change for me.
That's right. I am out of pear vodka, and so we're going to hit the coconut. But
Did the people really need to know that?
they did. I think, you know what? We get a lot of comments on our TikToks. What are y'all drinking there?
Okay.
So,
all right.
Here you go. Anyway, so we have been scouring social media to find relationship experts who give relationship advice.
Everybody is an expert, turns out.
Either everybody or nobody.
But you know what? Some people I've found.
In your experience of walking this earth, what have you found to be true?
I have found that some people just really give horrible advice. Relationship advice.
Well, I think,
that's what we're talking about today.
Right. No,
so I think a lot of people just give horrible relationship advice. Right. And I think they think that and believe it to their core, what they're saying. But unless you've lived a little bit, you don't know that it's horrible.
Yeah. So I spent some time researching dating and relationship experts on TikTok.
Are you trying to improve your relationship?
I am desperately trying to improve my relationship. No, just to see what's out there.
Yeah.
And
no, I like seeing what other people like say and think and stuff, because sometimes you do, as you guys will see, sometimes you do run across some really good advice and things that make sense, which we will cover. Yeah. But I think sometimes you just hear it and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. Well, and to that point, one of the first videos I came across started like this.
You do not have to accept her rejection.
And I thought, well, that's terrible advice. There was more to that video, but, and I know I don't want to bash anybody. It's not about that, but it's about let's just say some advice, as you said, is better than others.
I'm going to give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he caught me in a good mood today. Maybe he meant that persistence, like, can get you what you want. Like, say you keep asking a girl out and she keeps saying no, and you keep asking her out, and now you don't wear her down. Now she'll give you a chance. Maybe he was talking a little bit about that. Because
wearing somebody down is a great entree into a relationship.
I'm not saying that's even good.
I'm so tired. Fine, I'll go out with you. Fine.
Clearly,
you wore me down.
Clearly, that sounds better than don't accept no for an ounce to stalk that bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's better than that.
And I think, and I did watch the whole video, and he would probably say that it was about persistence, but the way he presented it was...
The way it's presented, you don't take it like that. He's just like keep going after her. If she say no, show up to her house tomorrow and ask her. Like, it's like, wait, what?
The rest of the video was marginally better.
Yeah.
Not completely better. It was still weird to me. Mm-hmm. But one thing that, and again, I didn't dig deep on a lot of these creators or these dating coaches or whatever.
Yeah.
But clearly, I would be curious, what kind of relationship are they in?
Exactly.
And that's not something they usually put out on Front Street, where it's, that's part of the initial discussion.
So just to interject, so like, I have a cousin and she's been married a lot of times. And it's kind of like a joke in our family, like, oh my God, who's the next husband kind of thing, right? So I remember a long time ago, she was trying to give me advice on my marriage. And I was like, you've been married how many times now? And she said the number, which I don't even remember what it was. Maybe it was 4 or 5. I can't remember. But the number was high to be married, right? And I was like, respectfully, I don't really feel comfortable taking advice from you because you haven't gotten it right yet. So, and then the whole table started laughing. I didn't say that to shade her. I said that because I was like, why should I take advice from you when you've got 4 or 5 failed marriages?
Well, but she's got a lot of people to ask her to marry them. Maybe she's good at something.
True. But her advice was to me to how to keep my marriage, like, good and healthy. Right. And like, okay, well, you haven't had a healthy one yet. So how can you give me advice?
Now, and I'm just curious, was she giving you this advice related to our relationship, or was this?
Oh God, no! This was way before we met.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So, just saying, if we need to get her on the horn, we could have her be our guest today.
No.
Okay.
No. This was. I think I was either still married to Hannah's dad, or we were on. It was kind of known that we were about to break up.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, and I've seen a bunch of these people on TikTok who claim to be dating coaches or relationship experts, and a lot of times it's guys. Yeah. And they are alone, oftentimes in a field. Yeah. And
in a field.
In a field by themselves. And that, and it's like, what are your credentials? It's kind of like, and you've probably seen this too, like, I'll be scrolling through TikTok and they'll be like, do you want to grow your following? Yeah. Let me help you. And I'm like...
And I click on your profile and you got like 500 people.
Yeah, they got 800 people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I'm good.
Yeah. I guess my point is, like, don't feel like just because you've been married a bunch of times doesn't make you an expert.
And maybe somebody who's been married once and got it right the first time, also not necessarily a relationship expert. They know what works for them. And I guess that's my skepticism, I guess, in looking at all these videos, is that, we all come to this based on our own experiences. Yeah. And so, hopefully over the years and through, if you do have multiple relationships, you gain some insight. And that can be valuable. Right. But it may also just be specific to your situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
And so you can take some generalities, but... All right, so let's listen to another video that is not as bad as the last one. Okay. And we'll see where this goes.
There's just 4 simple things you need to do if you want to get a woman chasing you or falling in love with you. Now, all 4 of these are a bit counterintuitive, so pay close attention. Number 1, you got to get her analyzing your behavior and unleash an intense curiosity to figure you out. And if she figures you out too soon, she gets bored and pulls away. So number 2 is you need to create an emotional roller coaster that gives her the drama that she associates with falling in love. See, for guys, no drama is a good thing. But for women, no drama equals boredom, and boredom equals death for girls. So
I can tell you right now, women, we do not want to try to figure you out, okay? If we have to figure you out, we're talking to our girlfriends. What the fuck is he doing? What's going on? I don't know what the fuck this dude doing. Like, literally, that's the conversations we're having if we can't figure you out. Yeah. If you're acting like so aloof or just even trying to be distant or mysterious or whatever it is, and we got to try to figure you out, that is not an attraction selling point. In my opinion.
My main question is, what did he go through? What data is he using to arrive at these conclusions? Because it does seem not only counterintuitive, but weird. Yeah.
And I don't know. And maybe he has specific, situations that these apply to. Yeah. But just hearing this, I'm like, no, we don't want that. No. And also, I think, and this is just my humble opinion, and then I'm just talking about myself, so I don't want any female out there to get mad. I think women are drama enough. Yeah. Okay? That might be just a crazy statement. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. But I think women are drama enough. Like, we have enough going on with ourselves and with hormones and everything that I feel like we're drama enough. We don't want y'all to be drama.
Is this the part where I'm supposed to disagree?
He's trading lightly here. Man on his second marriage, ladies and gentlemen.
Trying to make this one work.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like I know for me, I can overthink a situation and it becomes a drama situation because I'm an overthinker. Mm-hmm. I don't want you doing that too. We can't have 2 people in the house like that.
Yeah. Well, no, but I guess the part of his thing, and again, I don't. Maybe he's great, but that video struck me as odd because it doesn't. This whole thing about if you want women chasing you, I don't really want women chasing me. I mean, I want women.
You don't want women chasing you?
I don't. Oh, okay. I don't. Even when I was dating, I want women to enjoy my company, to look forward to spending time with me. Yeah. But I don't
chasing, and maybe this is because we just finished Baby Reindeer on Netflix. Yeah. Chasing sounds like stalking to me. Yeah. Like it's like I know it's probably not. It's not the same. But when I say it in my head, I think stalking. Yeah. If I've said no and you continue those things, it becomes you stalking.
Well, because chasing sounds one-sided.
Yes.
If you want to spend time with me and I want to spend time with you, there's no chase. There's no chase.
There's no chase.
There's a meeting of the minds that this is cool.
So maybe he doesn't mean, again, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because definitely we're not on here to bash creators. We're on here to just create discussion, right? Yeah. And so I think his points create a very interesting discussion for people. Because I would really want to know where he got that view to say that.
Yeah.
Like, what is, and maybe we're totally misinterpreting what he's saying, right? Like, we're just hearing what he's saying and we're taking it.
Yep.
But maybe he means it another way. But again, you got to be careful when you're talking about chasing somebody in 2024, because we got stalking laws.
We do, as we should, and we should have had them a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it feels manipulative.
Yeah.
What he's talking about is, if you want to make her do this, then you need to do this,
Well,
and that just sounds like manipulation.
Yeah, and you can't make anybody do anything, right? Like, and if you do, that's just it's probably not a great, healthy relationship. I'm just saying.
Yeah. It sounds like the Dennis plan from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is an incredibly toxic way to attract women, which is just him saying it's the DENNIS, and it's all like, make her dependent upon you and then abandon her, and any attempt to manipulate or to create feelings that are not genuine in another person is horrible. But what about the part where he talks about, I'm paraphrasing, women thrive on drama? Was one of his points. That, for dudes, we don't like drama.
I think maybe younger women do. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking back to like when I was in my 20s or whatever, and maybe women do when they're younger. But I can tell you at this age, I do not thrive on drama. I've had so much drama in my life. I'm trying to be drama free, and I feel like you're bringing any drama to my life, I'm done. You're cut off.
Yeah.
And that's like whether that's friends or family. You have to set your boundaries for yourself, and drama isn't. And I definitely don't want drama in my relationship.
Right.
I don't want that.
No, and I think you and I are of an age.
Yeah.
So we met when we were 44. We're now 55. To me, this is my safe space. This is my happy place. This is the place that I retreat to.
Yeah.
To avoid all the drama.
Right.
We got work, we got life, we got kids,
exactly.
we got all the other stuff which brings drama.
We got enough life drama. I don't need to bring in extra.
This is more like, I feel like, me coming home, being with you is like my sanctuary. The place where drama doesn't exist any more than necessary.
Exactly.
And it's usually caused by external forces, not by the two of us internally.
Right. I agree.
So
I agree with that. Yeah.
So let's talk about another creator who I think we're going to run through this one a little bit. She had, I think, 5 points that she wanted to talk about.
Okay.
And again, I guess we haven't said it exactly, but we're not relationship experts.
No.
And we don't know that anybody really is a relationship expert. But it makes for interesting discussion, and we come to this with our experiences, as does everyone.
Yes.
So here's another creator. The creator's name is 𝗪𝗍𝗀𝗀. The TikTok handle is It's 𝗪𝗍𝗀𝗀, ITSASIAELAINE.
I'm going to give you 5 things I would never tolerate as a certified relationship coach. Let's go. Number 1, a man inviting me over to his house as a first date or suggesting to come to my house as a first date.
What do you think about that?
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because of course, my stance on people is everybody's awful until they prove me wrong, right? That's your personal space, right? So, and especially for women, that can be a little scary, going over to his place for a first date or him coming over to your place for a first date. I just think that can be scary. And if you don't know the person, that's different if you've known this person for a long time and now y'all just started dating. Right. That's different.
Of course.
But if it's somebody that I'm just meeting and our first date and he's like, I want to cook you dinner. I don't think so. No. And if they have a problem with that, that's your sign right there that that's not your person. Yeah. You're not coming over to my house for the first date, and I'm not coming over to yours.
No. I think how quickly you get to that space where that becomes okay.
I think it just varies.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was going to say that.
Everybody's different in how quickly they get there. Yeah, but you're not there on the first date.
No, absolutely not. No, and I think, quite frankly, I don't think, back when I was in the dating world, I don't think I ever would have suggested that out the gate. I think if I had suggested it and she said yes, I would be a little weirded out.
Yeah.
Like that would. So
now look, it's different when you're doing a hookup. If you're just doing a hookup, you know what the deal is. Okay, cool, right? Even then, it's a little scary.
I think I would still want to meet somewhere in public first.
Yeah.
For at least some, because like when we first met, we did our little meet and greet at Starbucks.
Yeah.
But that also wasn't. If it goes well at Starbucks, we'll head over to my place.
No.
It wasn't that. It was like, let's just kind of see.
Yeah, I just think with something like that with women, I think you need to be extra careful.
Yeah.
I just do.
No, absolutely.
So I agree with her on that.
No, I think it's almost obvious, but I think in this day and age, I'm sure that people are making that suggestion.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me cook you dinner.
Right. Well, that's,
I'm
and
a
I think,
great cook.
Exactly. I think that's the way a dude would try to make it not weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kind of a chef, and I got my little,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you, what do
Yeah.
you like? Oh, you like salmon? Oh, I make a great salmon recipe.
That's definitely not a first date thing. If you want to do cooking and show off your cooking skills, take me to a cooking class. And then you can show off your cooking skills there. But I'm not coming to your house on your first date, and you're definitely not coming to mine.
Right.
Like your place where you live, that's your peace, like you were saying. That's your peaceful sanctuary.
Right.
I'm not inviting you in there when I don't know who you are and I don't know you.
Let me ask you a question. So so we started dating in December of 2012. And I'm just curious, obviously, I don't remember how long it was until somebody went over to somebody's place. I'm sure I went to your place probably to pick you up for a date.
Right.
I think I did. I think for our first date, I picked you up at your place.
Yeah, but that's after we had already met and we had talked a little bit.
Well, and this is my question: is that so? I'm a lawyer, and I know you looked me up, to see if I was really a lawyer. Did that give you any more peace of mind that I probably wasn't an axe murderer?
Probably.
Because I've been vetted by the state bar.
Yeah, probably.
And so, not that you were going to ask me in, not that it was going to lead to...
I'm just saying, I think by that time, the trust level was obviously enough for you to come pick me up for a date. Right?
Not to come in.
I think it was enough for you to pick me up for a date. Because like I said, I think ours was a little bit different because I just think the connection that we had meeting face to face was obviously different than situation I had before with previous dates, right? So I felt obviously a little more comfortable with you. Kind of have to take it relationship by relationship, but I don't think any relationship you're going to be come over to my house. I've never met you in person before. We've only talked on the phone. Come on over.
Yeah.
I think most women would not do that.
No, it just seems like a
But
bad
maybe
idea.
I'm wrong.
Yeah.
We have young, daughters who are actively dating and stuff, and they tell us stuff, and we're like, why in the world would you do that?
Yeah.
So maybe this is something the younger generation would do.
Yeah.
But I'm here to tell you right now, you need to stop that.
Yeah. That is
In this day and age, that's too scary.
That is sage advice. Clink.
Yeah, stop that.
Don't do that.
Clink, clink, clink.
Clink.
Number 2, a man who consistently makes me feel unclear, confused, or unsure about his intentions with me. Sometimes the way that a man makes you feel is a red flag in and of itself.
What do you think about that one?
So she's saying if he makes you feel confused about
his intentions.
Yep. I think that's a fair statement, even vice versa, right?
Yeah.
If I don't know, if I'm constantly questioning what's going on, what's your intent, and you're always vague and don't want to answer it, I mean, that's my answer there.
So, all right, let's pretend we just started dating. Ask me about my intentions.
I don't know if I necessarily ask the question, what are your intentions, right? I think you get there with other questions that you ask. I just think certain questions lead there, right? Without actually saying, what are your intentions?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I think we met on a dating app, and so I think when we both got into this, I guess if let's say moments before our first date, somebody had pulled each one of us aside independently and said, what's your dating goal?
I don't know that I would have had a solid answer. I think at that time I probably would have said, all right, I'm really looking for a long-term partnership. If that leads to marriage, fine, but that's not my ultimate goal, because at that time I wasn't stuck on getting married again.
I was just tired.
You were just tired? Oh God.
No, I was tired of dating, right? I've been doing the dating thing pretty hard for about a year.
Yeah.
And I definitely wasn't looking for a wife, but I was certainly open to meeting somebody and having a real long-term intimate relationship.
Okay, so at that time that would have been your answer.
Yeah, but
not
also
necessarily marriage.
No, but I was also open to something more casual. For it to escalate to something deeper, it needed to be somebody who was worth that to me.
Oh, okay. So you would have given like a very vague answer. Sounds like.
Well, no, I think I was open to a wide
She
spectrum.
just want to kick it, I kick it. If she want to do this, I do. You know, I just like what the fuck.
Yes.
Pick a lane.
Yes, that is my answer.
Pick a lane, Mister.
But we first met, I couldn't say I envision this becoming a long-term relationship. It has to grow into that. So I think even that question about the intentions, there has to be some period of, I'm just getting to know you right now, and I'm curious to see where this goes. You know, and I think that would be an honest answer at the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, because you can't be, because if I was too soon, like after our first meeting, like, I'm gonna marry you, or we're gonna be in this, you know, you're the person, I'm deleting all the apps and everything, and cutting off, you know, with everybody. Now we got there pretty quick. But I think, you know, to think that would be like out the gate, it's probably not realistic. But yeah, I mean, you know, and we've told our story before, but not necessarily here, that I think we both recognize pretty quickly this is very different from anything either of us had ever experienced.
Right.
And so once you know, I think by the time we were a few weeks in, I was done.
Yeah, it was pretty clear. Yeah, so I think it just depends.
But to her point, so the idea that I would be weird, and I guess, again, we can only talk from our experience. So, like, when it came to you, I knew pretty quickly that this was different, this was special, this is something I absolutely wanted to pursue and try to see where it would go. I guess, and we're maybe of an age where I wasn't trying to be ambiguous with you, or like...
Yeah, and again, maybe that's because we were older, you know, and had already gone through a marriage, you know.
Well, we both had, but I think, to her point, though, the idea that, let's say we're 3, 4, 5 months in, and you're like, where is this going?
Yeah.
And I'm like...
I mean, of course, I have been in relationships like that.
Sure. But if at that point, you know, after you kind of get to know each other, you understand who the person is, what their morals, principles, all that stuff is, and, you know, the physical attraction is there or it's not or whatever, and we're 3, 4, 5 months in, and you're like, well, where is this going? And I'm like, hey man, just you know, enjoying you right now, just enjoying, you know, we'll just see where it goes. I do think, and that's her point, is that would be a red flag. Because once you move past, I don't know if it's a month or 2 months, I think, you know, there can be some flexibility.
I don't know what that number is, but I feel like...
But it's not more than 3 months.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's somewhere within there. That's the sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, you should know what you're looking to get out of this, right? Is this just kind of we having fun kicking it? I see other people, you see other people. Okay, well, let me know. Or where do you see it going anywhere?
Right.
Are we just kind of in this space where we're just both having fun?
Right. Or if you have other major, like, stumbling blocks or snafus where it's like, you want more kids, and I don't.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you're Baptist and I'm Jewish, and that's really important to both of us.
And I think those things need to be brought up front too, right? Like, hey, you know, I'm Jewish, and I really can't marry anybody if they're not Jewish. But me and you could kick it for a while. Okay, let me know up front.
Right.
Don't like have me investing 6 months, a year, and me thinking this is going to go somewhere, and I can't wait till he proposes to me, and then I find out that that's not even going to be a thing.
Right.
Number 3, a man who makes sexual advances or sexual or flirtatious remarks to me way too soon.
You don't know me?
Yeah.
Back the fuck up. You don't know me.
No, and as a dude, I think the appropriate way to deal with that is not by sexual advances. I mean, I should be telling you, wow, you're really beautiful.
Right.
Gosh, your smile just lights up the room.
Not, I want to get in your pants.
Not, is it bare down there? Or,
exactly.
You know, I don't know what folks would say, right?
I don't know either, but I'm just like...
Do the carpets match the drapes?
Yeah, but I mean, if it's
my usual go-to.
If it's sexual advances like the first or second date...
Yeah.
Like, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. You can compliment us without making sexual advances.
Yeah, no, I think everything on the physical, intimate side, I mean, at the beginning, it's just respectful, it's decent to just take it slow and be respectful. And if you want to tell her that she's beautiful, because she is, cool.
Yeah.
And now I'm also a big proponent, and you know this, if I'm thinking something complimentary, I'm gonna share it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think you kind of got weirded out by that not weirded out, but you were, I guess, taken aback at some point when I was sharing my feelings about you being beautiful or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Well, I think it was just like, because you would send it in text. Obviously, you would tell me like when we were face to face in person. And to me, not that it was a lot, but in my head, I'm kind of like, why is he saying this?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, why does he keep telling me this?
What, that
like,
you're beautiful?
Well, yeah. Like, I felt like maybe, I don't know, like, and again, maybe this is hesitance because of like past relationships, right?
The bullshit.
Yeah, like you feel like it's bullshit. You do. You feel like, okay, what the fuck is he talking about? What does he want? You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to get into that headspace when you've kind of been there with unsuccessful relationships, right? And then they turned into the dude wanted something, right? Like it's just, or they did something crappy, which is why they compliment you so much.
Right.
So it's natural. It was natural for me to go back to that point of like, why are you doing that? Why are you saying that?
Because you even said like, you don't have to say that or something.
Yeah, and I guess in my head, I didn't want you to feel like you had to tell me all the time, like I was one of those women where you had to tell me like every second that I'm beautiful or whatever. I didn't want you to feel like that. And you had the perfect response. You were just kind of like, well, if I'm thinking it, I might as well say it. You were like, it doesn't make any sense to just keep it to myself. And then I thought about that later and I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because the other thing, and this is me just being honest with y'all, like when we started dating, yeah, I was very smitten and found her to be very beautiful. And yeah, so that was when we were talking, that was constantly on my mind. Just like, I got to look at you to talk to you. Meanwhile, you're hitting me back with all of this. And I was just like, God damn, she's pretty. And I actually said to you another time, which was true, we were probably about 60 to 90 days into dating. Mm-hmm. And that's when I told you, I finally at a point where I'm getting used to looking at you while you talk. So I'm actually hearing a lot more of what you say now because I was so distracted by how you look when we first got together that I'm not sure I caught it all. Yeah. And I think you said you hadn't heard that before.
I had never heard that before. I thought, man, this dude is trying hard.
No, this dude just knew that he was batting out of his league. Outkicking his coverage, sports analogy you want to use. I just felt like I was
immediately just thought that was like the sweetest thing I'd ever heard.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it was just true because I like seriously talking to you at the beginning was very distracting and very difficult, and I had to like focus on like the word. I'd like watch the bottom half of your face because I'm like, okay, these are where the words are coming from, and not get distracted by the rest of it. No,
that's so sweet. I still think that's super sweet.
Better because it's true.
Aw, thank you, babe. So, all right. It's very nice.
Number 4, a man making it a point to always tell me how busy he is.
So this takes me back to a conversation with my brothers. I, at the time, was dating someone, and it's like a VP of a company, and he's always busy. I'm always busy. I'm busy. And I think I told my brothers that, and my brothers were like, no. If we're into you, we're never too busy.
Never.
And one of my brothers was like, I don't care if we're like the president of the United States. We have like, or if we have like 5 jobs. He was like, if we're into a female, we're not too busy. Yeah. We're going to interrupt those tasks to be with you, to talk to you, to let you know that we're interested. And that's when I think it hit me hard that, well, shit, maybe this guy really ain't that into me. Because he was always busy, and they just really broke it down.
Yeah. Well, and of course, in this modern age, how long does it take to send a text?
For sure.
Hey, babe, been
thinking
busy.
About
you thinking about you. Hope you're having a good day.
Yeah. All of a sudden, you have your phone.
Yeah.
We all have our phones.
No, the idea, and obviously there are occasions when you're too busy to do certain things.
Of course.
Can we go to Dallas this weekend? No, I'm too busy. I got stuff going on at work.
Yeah. But for you guys to let us know that you like us, that you're interested, that you want to be with us, like, I just don't think, if he's really into you, he's not too busy for that.
No, and I actually just had to have that discussion with one of my daughters.
Yeah.
About, it's like the idea that nobody's too busy to text you and say, hey, beautiful, hope you're having a great day.
Exactly.
You're going to be on the toilet at some point, if nothing else, and like you're not going to be occupied. And you're going to have 10 seconds to do that.
Like if it's something, we put the energy into things we want in our lives, right? And then we don't to things that we don't want in our lives. Right. So if somebody is important to you, or you're trying to establish a relationship with somebody and you want it, at that point, I would think it's like imperative that you make it known to them, I'm thinking about you.
Right. No, absolutely.
Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
who doesn't like to know somebody's thinking about them?
Well, but I guess that's the difference, right? And again, as dudes, we all approach things differently depending on what we're looking for, depending on what we've been through. But I was in the dating pool where I was juggling, more than one person, but I was also upfront about that.
Right.
But yeah, back in those days, I would probably
ignore,
be that guy,
text or whatever.
Just, you get to it when you get to it. It's not a priority.
Again, like you prioritize what you want to prioritize and respond to.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you don't like the other person, but it means they are not one of your top priorities. But we all got to work. We all got to make a living. But
absolutely.
If this person I'm dating is a priority that I want to be in with for an extended period, build it into a relationship.
Yeah.
That's going to be equally as important to any text I get, say from my boss
of course,
or my mom, or whoever else these other important people are in my life. You're going to be right there.
Yeah, it's people that you want to hear from, that you're invested in, that you want a relationship with.
Right. Yeah, there's no excuse in this day and age for people having extended periods of silence. No, there's just no reason not to hear from somebody for 3 or 4 days.
That's ridiculous. That's seriously ridiculous.
I agree.
So I agree with that.
Cool.
Number 5, a man who acts very shady with his phone and with his social media.
I think we already know the answer to that. If you acting shady with your phone, that's a red flag right there. I think that was one of the things with us, like right off the bat. Like you were like, yeah, here's my password to my phone. I'm like, here's my password to my phone. And you're like, you can look at my phone if you want. And sometimes I would look at it and I'd be like, so I look at your phone, like especially, this is at the beginning of our relationship. I looked at your phone and I saw this text message from blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what is that about? Because in my mind, I've already formed my opinion of what's going on, right? And, and you would like explain it or whatever. And usually it's a client or something like that. But I think that should be obvious. If you acting shady with your phone, and like, that's obvious right there. I can't trust you.
Yeah.
Do guys get like that? Like we do?
I mean, I think if we're invested, then we want to feel like we're included and we're not on the periphery, right?
Yeah.
And so, no, I think it would be.
Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be hurt, right? By infidelity or whatever it is. So if we feel that way because of how you're acting and guarding your phone or whatever social media device you have, like clearly that sends a message like, okay, what is he doing?
Right.
Or what is she doing?
Right. Which reminds me of back in the day, so I used to work at a firm, say 20 years ago, where we used to do a little bit of divorce work. And or we do like orders for child support and stuff. And so I remember meeting with a potential client back then, and this was so funny. This is back in the days of flip phones, but we still had phones and text messages were a thing. And this girl was telling me, I don't think they were married. I think they had a baby. And she's like, the baby daddy, my boyfriend, is acting real shady with his phone. He's gotten to the point now where he sleeps with his phone in his pocket. I'm like, yeah, nobody sleeps with their phone in their pocket unless they have a reason to sleep with their phone in their pocket. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I know. And they were young. I mean, she was probably 20, and it's just like, she's like, do you think I have anything to be concerned about? I'm like, you probably not need to be with this dude.
That's so sad. Because we as women, like, we really do go into this hoping our suspicions are wrong. We don't want to validate them. Like, we really do hope that it's wrong. It's all in our head. We're such idiots. He's not doing anything. Like, we really do go into it like that. We don't want there to be anything. But then when y'all act shady, y'all meaning men, not you. When y'all act all like, what you need my phone for? Or you can't even like leave your phone out anywhere. Like, it's just like you're so like attached to it. That sends the wrong message. And then when I ask you for it, especially if I'm going to ask you to see your phone, if if you're gonna act like, why you need my phone? No, I don't. This is the exact. So because I think a lot of guys will turn it and try to gaslight, right, and be like, well, if you don't trust me, we don't have trust. We don't have anything. Blah blah blah. Miss me with that shit.
Right.
Like, motherfucker, give me your phone.
Right.
If you're not hiding nothing, give me your phone.
When I think you mentioned you had a friend who had asked to see her partner's phone. And at first he declined, and then like an hour later came back and said, "Oh, you want to see my phone?
Yeah,
here it is."
Yeah, after he deleted stuff. Yeah, yeah. We can't be like, "Oh, okay, well now you can see it." Okay, yeah, we're not stupid. Yeah, that's usually, I think, a super red flag.
Yeah. What about the social media component? Because she said if he's being shady with his phone or with his social media, how long into a relationship should we be on each other's social media?
I don't know the answer to that. I think it should feel right to both parties. I think I envision when she says that, to me it's like you're communicating with some folk. I started to say something else. I started to say some skanks or something. But you communicating with some unsavory people in your DMs.
Some unauthorized thoughts, maybe?
You communicating with people you should not be with in your DMs. When you're being shady with your social media, like that's where my mind went to when she said that. But if you're like always hiding, because, and as we know, a lot of people create like, shady profiles and they try to be somebody else on social media. So it's like, is Greg trying to be Daryl on social media because he trying to date somebody else as Daryl, and then I'm dating him as Greg? Why are you making that face at me right now?
I'm just envisioning you dating Jimmy Steve from Shameless.
That's where your mind went through, Jimmy Steve. Yeah, that's fair. But I'm just saying, like, if you got a profile and you Daryl on Facebook, but you Greg on Instagram, I might have an issue with that. What the fuck? Who you trying to be Daryl for? First of all, I know you as Greg. Who the hell is Daryl?
Well, it's my middle name, and so sometimes I go by that.
I'm just saying, like, the DMs and stuff can lead to some really shadiness because, like, and it's funny because I send you a lot of stupid DMs that I get from guys.
Yeah.
Want to be sugar daddy? Hey, you sure look pretty. Hey, like, I immediately like screenshot it and send it to you just because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh, look who's trying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but if I'm trying to hide that, that's a different story.
For sure.
And I'm communicating with people on social media. That's a different story. Because an emotional relationship is just as damaging as a physical.
Sure. Well, and so we started dating in end of 2012. Social media was there, but it wasn't quite what it is today. And so, back then, it's like, when do you become Facebook official?
Right.
That was kind of the test,
that was the thing. Yeah.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
And I guess it still is.
Yeah.
Certainly with folks of a certain generation.
Yeah.
But, so it's more than that. But, I think there's probably, I guess everybody has to decide what it is for themselves. When do I even tell you? I mean, I personally don't do Instagram a lot, but I have an Instagram.
Yeah.
When in the course of our initial course of dating, would I be like, hey, so my Instagram is such and such if you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But I think that is something that, and again, it probably falls into that first 90 days.
Yeah.
Because, and here's the thing, as a guy, we know within 90 days and less if you're somebody that we want to, project long term. Now, whether or not that's marriage, whether or not, whatever you want to call that,
right.
Are you a long term person for me or not? We know that very soon.
Yeah.
Now, that said, maybe I decide that at 30 days, and something comes up at 63 days where I'm like, oh shit, well, I didn't know that.
This can't work.
Right.
Yeah.
That
changes
things can crop up.
Yeah, of
but
course.
At least that initial inkling, that initial gut of telling you, this is my person, this is not my person, this is somebody I'm going to kick it with, she's hot, but she's crazy, wherever you land, you're going to know that 30 days, probably 60 at the outset, at the outside.
Yeah.
We're going to know which category we put you in for our personal preferences.
Here's the thing. The bottom line is, it's honesty. and being honest, right? So like for instance, like you support a lot of my stuff. Like you comment, you like, and as we know, the social media forms to the algorithm of like what you interact with, right? So for instance, if I'm interacting with a lot of I don't know, MMA fighters or whatever it is, or boxers or whoever, wrestlers or whatever, my social media is going to be filled with that kind of stuff, right? So because you interact with a lot of my stuff, female stuff, you get a lot of that stuff through your, whether it's TikTok, the For You page, or Instagram in your search, right? Yeah. So one day he shows me and he says, just to let you know, this is like my search page for Instagram when I go on it. It's crazy. Literally all of these beautiful women. Some of them are half naked.
Mostly black women.
Black women, beautiful black women. So my initial reaction was like, what are you putting out there to where this is like your search page? Yeah. But then I think, and before I say that, he says, this is all because I interact with your stuff. Yeah. He was like, literally, the only thing I do on Instagram is interact with your stuff. Right. And I was like, and in my head, I'm like, okay, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, Instagram thinks I like beautiful black women, which is not the worst thing I've been accused of. I've been accused of way worse. But yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you showed that to me, like, right off the bat.
Yeah.
So should I have just picked up your phone and I'm seeing that in your search? Right. I don't know what I would assume. I would assumed you're looking for beautiful black women.
Sure.
Like, you know, I wouldn't have.
Aren't we all?
Are we all? I don't think I would have gotten there like, oh, he's seeing this because he's always interacted with my stuff. I don't know, had I looked at your phone on my own without you, that I would have gotten there.
Right. Well, and it's funny because, about 7 or 8 out of 10 things that come up are beautiful black women in various levels of clothedness. And there's like one baby video, and then there's like maybe Billy Joel or BB King, because
so the other thing, and sometimes you will get like animal videos, because like the things that he will send to me is like, I love the 2 things that I do not want in my life, but I love if you send me a cute baby video, or if you send me a cute dog or puppy video. That will make me so happy.
Yep. She enjoys those. She enjoys that.
I love that so much. That makes me so happy. I think he even said to me one time, he's like, I've never met anybody that doesn't want those 2 things, that loves receiving videos about those 2 things.
Yeah. Well, I think the favorite video we watched this week was the one with the baby underneath the little dresser.
Oh my God.
A little bald, beautiful, probably 11 or 12-month-old baby.
I stuck.
Yeah, it just turns them out. I stuck.
I tell you, that's the best thing ever you can send me is baby videos and puppy or dog videos. So if his feed is covered with that, I get it. Okay, you're sending me that shit all the time. Right?
No, I think it ultimately comes back to communication.
Yeah.
And honest communication.
For sure.
So at the end of the day, when it comes to relationship advice, I don't know who you can trust. I'm not saying you should trust us, because I don't know that we've given any advice. We're just more like receptors and bouncing things back.
I think I will put this out there. I think at the end of the day, we all have feelings, and we all have that thing that's inside of us that gives us that warning about things, right? And who knows, people call it different things. A vibe, God, whatever. Like people call it different things, self-aware, like whatever it is. You have to trust your own feelings about stuff. As women, sometimes we don't trust that. And we will get an odd feeling or an uncomfortable feeling about someone, and maybe it's because they haven't been calling us, they're always too busy, won't let me see their phone, whatever. It could be a combination of all of these things, but we will try to make excuses for it because we want the situation to work. I really want this to work. I like this guy. Right? So we'll make excuses for it. Don't make excuses for shit.
And don't ignore red flags.
And tune into how you're truly feeling about it. If something feels off, it's probably off.
Yeah. No, but I think, not ignoring red flags is huge. And I think we've probably all been guilty of that at different times.
Of course. Yeah, everybody's been guilty of that.
But I think once you make peace with that, because early on, you did, look at my phone and you'd ask me about this or that. Like, rather than just pretending it didn't exist, putting on blinders and pretending I didn't see it, it's probably fine, it's probably not what I think. Bring it out. Hey, and I remember one was a text from a potential client was like, hey, we didn't get to talk today. Maybe we can talk tomorrow. or something like, I can see you tomorrow. Or is it, I don't know, was a meeting or
And
a
I think
call?
I do remember that one because I think that one rubbed me wrong because a lot of your text messages, like, they don't, I could scroll back up and see like the beginning of the conversations, right?
Right.
That one I couldn't.
Right.
Like, it was just that. It was like, hey, is tomorrow okay? I'll call you then.
Right.
And so it was just like, okay, is he deleting these as they come in? I was like, what is this about? And I think you had been taking a shower. When you got out of the shower, I was like, I looked at your phone and I really need to know, what is this about?
Yeah.
Like, I was just, because in my mind, I was like, I really want to be all about truth. I don't want to be sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to like assume stuff in my head and make it worse and then start, you know, treating you differently
Right.
because I'm just assuming
Right.
that you fucking around, right?
Right.
So I asked you about it and you totally explained it to me.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, like, I think it just goes back to communication.
Yeah.
If you feel uncomfortable about something, ask the person.
Absolutely.
And if they're shady about it, you got your answer.
Right. If they're shady about it, that's your red flag.
Yeah, that's your red flag. Don't accept these red flags because honestly, if you accept these small red flags, it's going to get bigger, right? Like, and it's just, it's going to turn into something awful.
Right.
So, it goes back to that statement that we've all heard. You know, when people show you who they are, believe them the first time.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But we're not experts.
But
I have a lot of expertise in
you do have expertise.
in dating.
You do. She dated a lot.
And unsuccessful dating.
Yeah, she dated a lot. She dated a lot, y'all. She dated a whole
Really, babe?
lot.
Is that what we're doing? Really?
So on that note, I think we can wrap this one up. But thanks for hanging out with us. And until next time, take a sip.
Take a sip.
Cheers.
Cheers.